Welcome, everyone, to this very special segment of Forgotten History. I'm your host, Morgan Freeman, and I'm here today to invite you into the truth, to unfurl the lies spun for you by the media conglomerates that control the education system. It's time that you hear about history the right way. Last time we took a deep dive into Amelia Earhart's transnational crime ring syndicate, which ended with her intentionally crashing a plane full of potent nitazene and heroin deep in the Bermuda Triangle in order to avoid being brought in front of NATO. Today, we explore the important topic of how the sinking of the Titanic involved a lot more than just an iceberg. Let me tell you what really happened inside that floating steel coffin. See, when they built the internal structure, the ribs, the frames, the bulkheads, they didn't build them to last. No. They built them to fail on command, and I've got the evidence they don't want you to see. Picture it, Harland and Wolff Shipyard, supposedly the most advanced shipbuilders in the world. But if you look closely, and I mean really closely, you'll notice something strange. The internal beams, the ones that were supposed to hold the whole thing together, they were made with what I like to call strategic weakness points. These strategic weakness points were central to the ship's failure by design, not flaws, not mistakes, intentional design choices. The steel plates, too thin in certain places. The rivets, oh, don't get me started on the rivets. The bulkheads, they didn't go all the way up. Watertight, my foot. Every single one of those decisions just happened to make the ship more likely to break apart like a soggy cracker. Coincidence? Yeah, okay. Let's talk rivets. You know, the little metal pins that literally hold the ship together. They used iron rivets in the bow, the exact place where the iceberg just happened to hit. Why iron? Why not steel like the rest of the ship? Because iron gets brittle in cold water. Cold water like, I don't know, the North Atlantic. It's almost like someone said, hey, let's make sure the front of the ship pops open like a tin can if it bumps into anything. Before the age of the great liners, the strength of a ship was limited by the frailty of its joints, a problem that remained stagnant until the mid-19th century revolution of the iron rivet. These fasteners, typically measuring between 3/4 of an inch and 1/8 inches in diameter, became the literal connective tissue of the industrial world. In the shipyards of the 1800s, the process was a brutal, rhythmic symphony of heat and force. A heater would pluck a rivet from a coke-fired furnace once it reached a glowing cherry-red temperature of approximately 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, tossing it to a catcher who jammed the white-hot shank through pre-drilled holes in overlapping steel plates. A holder-on would then brace a heavy sledge against the rivet head inside the hull, while two beaters on the outside used specialized hammers to flatten the protruding shank into a permanent, watertight seal. As the metal cooled, it contracted with immense physical force, pulling the massive hull plates together with a clamping pressure that wood and peg construction could never hope to replicate. As the ambition of naval architects grew, so did the sheer mathematical scale of the riveting required to hold these floating cities together. By the time the keel was laid for the Olympic-class liners at the Harland and Wolff shipyards in Belfast, the rivet had evolved from a simple fastener into a critical engineering bottleneck. For a vessel of the Titanic's magnitude, measuring 882 feet, 9 inches in length with a gross tonnage of over 46,000, traditional hand riveting was no longer sufficient for the heavy central hull. Engineers deployed massive hydraulic riveting machines, gargantuan pincers that exerted over 60 tons of pressure to crush steel rivets into place, ensuring the highest possible structural integrity where the ship's frame was thickest. However, the extreme curves of the bow and stern remained inaccessible to these machines, necessitating the use of nearly 3 million individual rivets, many of which had to be hammered in by hand in cramped, deafening quarters where a four-man team was expected to set over 200 rivets in a single 10-hour shift. The tragedy of the Titanic's demise is often traced back to the metallurgical specifications of these very fasteners, specifically the 3 types of rivets used in her construction: steel, number 3 best iron, and number 4 best iron. While the central hull utilized high-strength steel rivets set by hydraulic press, the bow, the area that ultimately struck the iceberg, was fastened with number 3 best iron rivets, which contained a higher concentration of slag. Metallurgical analysis of recovered rivets shows that under the extreme brittle cold of the North Atlantic, these iron shanks, measuring roughly 1 inch in thickness, were prone to shear failure. When the iceberg exerted a lateral pressure of over 30,000 pounds per square inch against the hull, the heads of these rivets did not bend. They snapped like glass. This caused the seams between the 1-inch thick steel plates to unzip, creating narrow gaps that allowed water to bypass the supposedly watertight bulkheads. The ship did not suffer a massive gash, but rather a series of catastrophic rivet failures along a 300-foot stretch, proving that the greatest vessel in history was only as strong as the 3 million tiny iron pins holding her together. And those bulkheads, the big walls inside the ship that were supposed to keep water out, they only went up to E-deck, not all the way to the top, not even close. So when the water started coming in, it just spilled over like a row of dominoes. You know what that's called? A design that guarantees failure. But sure, tell me again how this was the unsinkable ship. Another important element is revealed through the documentary Titanic. The legend goes on, where we see dogs performing live rap songs in the cargo space within the Titanic. Obviously, hosting live performances of this level 24/7 would weaken the materials of the ship over time, so these planned performances were actually sabotaged. There were many notable figures that died in the Titanic's suspicious sinking, including John Jacob Astor IV, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim. They all had one thing in common, a common enemy, the unsinkable Molly Brown. At the center of the conspiracy to sink the Titanic stands a woman who detestably created the false veneer of charity to hide her wickedness that created the plot to destroy the world's most illustrious luxury liner. Margaret Brown, who would be posthumously known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, was born on July 18, 1867, as Margaret Tobin to a few petty criminals in Hannibal, Missouri. She grew up in a small, barren shack alongside her parents and 2 brothers, Billy and Robert. Taught by her parents, she learned quickly how to pickpocket and connive others on the streets, using games of trickery and disguise to lighten the purses and wallets of well-to-do gentlemen and women. Her diary from the time reads, "We didn't have much, but we did learn how to take much. The fancy rich society's so-called elites flaunted their wealth in front of us who had nothing, so we took it without as much as a pang of guilt. We deserved everything we could take. It's ours by birthright." Being of a quick wit and a sorry sort, she bought up the shares of a local brothel house, known as the Red House, and soon profited greatly from exploiting other women. Her wealth and infamy soon attracted the attention of many suitors. The one she chose was James Joseph Brown, a mining engineer whose inventions would make the family quite wealthy. He invented the Fodienda Grui, colloquially known by the miners as the Scoopy Crane, which miners used to shovel the coal out from the deep depths, safely using a specific setup pulley systems that leveraged weight in a beneficial way, building expositing fulcrums which allowed for menial wear and tear on equipment. The mining company which employed him, Ibex Mining Company, rewarded him greatly, and the Brown family became fabulously wealthy. Molly used her newfound wealth to purchase a horse-drawn carriage made of solid silver which paraded her throughout the streets of Colorado. She would hire trombonists to play sonorous tunes as she waved to the paupers and peasants on the street. She would on occasion pay a few tuppence to urchin children so that she could kick them as they lay in the gutter. Included here is an excerpt from Brown historian James Headold, who describes the silver carriage. The monstrosity known as the Silver Sovereign stood as a testament to excess, measuring exactly 6 feet 2 inches high, 5 feet across the cabin, and 14 feet 4 inches from the front draft pole to the rear boot, weighing a recorded total of 6,420 pounds of .999 fine sterling silver. This final iteration was only commissioned after the catastrophic failure of the first prototype, crafted by the reclusive Italian silversmith Gerolf Guisaido. Guisaido's initial design had utilized a thinner, quarter-inch silver plating over a wooden frame, which famously buckled and disintegrated under its own weight during a trial run on Pennsylvania Street, leading Margaret Brown to demand a second, entirely solid replacement. Guisaido spent 14 months in a reinforced workshop casting the second carriage in modular sections, using massive iron molds to pour the molten metal for the main coach panels, which he thickened to precisely 3/8 of an inch. The chassis sat upon 4 solid silver wheels. The front pair measured 36 inches in diameter and the rear pair 44 inches, each supported by 14 individual silver spokes, precisely 1.5 inches thick at the hub and tapering to 1 inch at the rim. To manage the immense friction, Guisaido engineered custom axle housings lined with low-friction graphite, hidden behind 6-inch silver dust caps engraved with the Brown family crest. The suspension system utilized overlapping 4-inch wide, 1/2-inch thick silver leaf springs, totaling 16 leaves per wheel to prevent the soft metal from sagging under the 3-ton load. The two 32-inch wide, 50-inch tall doors were mounted on 5-inch reinforced steel hinges, which Guisaido cleverly disguised with silver-leafed filigree to maintain the illusion of a single material build. Inside, the cabin windows were paned with 3/4-inch thick beveled rock crystal, chosen for its clarity and weight to counterbalance the heavy silver roof. The interior was upholstered in an agonizing display of wealth. 10,000 yards of tufted, spun silver thread woven into a heavy damask pattern that felt like cold silk to the touch. Guisaido even included a retractable silver footstep, exactly 12 inches wide, that deployed on a geared mechanism when the door handle, a 3-inch solid silver lion's head, was turned. The exterior was illuminated by twin, forward-facing silver lanterns measuring exactly 18 inches tall with 4-inch top ventilation flues, designed specifically to withstand the heat of burning high-yield certificates. Every bolt and rivet was capped with a polished silver dome, ensuring that not a single inch of base metal was visible to the public eye, fulfilling Molly's requirement for a vehicle that was as heavy as her husband's gold veins and twice as blinding. But many saw her and her husband as business rivals, and after several sordid business battles, the Brown family was on the verge of losing the empire they had built. But Molly would not be stopped. She devised a plan to have her family's various business rivals aboard the Titanic's maiden voyage, and she herself would also go on it in order not to draw suspicion. She bribed the ship's architects and a few builders to plant weaknesses and vulnerabilities into the ship so that it would not last the entire voyage. To apply added pressure to make sure the vulnerabilities were added, she had their families kidnapped and threatened to send them down river rapids in leaky barrels if the Titanic wasn't made structurally compromised. Additionally, she hired a vessel to procure her an iceberg a few months before the Titanic's voyage, an iceberg that was set right into the path of the Titanic on purpose. Here is an excerpt from her diary. The fools really think they are going to enjoy a smooth luxury voyage, but little do they know what awaits them. They have meddled with my family for long enough, but soon they will taste the deep drink of the Atlantic Ocean. With them out of the way, our operations will be seamless. Molly Brown booked an executive suite on the Titanic that she had had the builders specially designed for her. Upon the impact with the iceberg, the entire suite shot out of the Titanic's hull and a parachute deployed, safely delivering her to the ocean waves, balloons inflated with helium activated, keeping her sizable and costly room afloat until she could be saved by rescuers. If she had allowed other passengers into her suite, at least 20 more people could have been saved. But the despicable Molly Brown's avarice killed almost 1,500 people in total. Upon returning to the mainland, she and her husband used the time of panic and chaos to their advantage. They invested much of their money into the rival companies and gained control of them, merging them into what is now known as the Hecla Mining Corporation, the oldest mining venture in America. But Molly Brown didn't stop there. She decided to begin fundraisers ostensibly for the victims of the Titanic's sinking. But the money she raised, she actually pocketed and used to pay off politicians in order to hide her involvement with the Titanic's sinking. Her other notable achievement was setting a fire in Palm Beach at a wealthy hotel. She was trying to kill rich elites who had caught on to her schemes and had started a cabal set on destroying her. Molly Brown's legacy is one of greed, crime, and murder. But she used her power and influence to hide her horrible injustices. Let us pause to remember the victims of the Titanic. Mr. Anthony Abbing, age 42. Mr. Eugene Joseph Abbott, age 14. Mrs. Bessie Waldo Allison, age 25. Mr. Farid Hussein Qasim Al-Muna, age 18. Miss Ida Augusta Margareta Anderson, age 38. Master Sigvard Harold Elias Anderson, age 4. Mr. Ramon Artagaveitia, age 71. Master Philip Oscar Asplund, age 13. Colonel John Jacob Astor, age 47. Miss Malek Attala, age 17. Miss Julia Barry, age 26. Mr. Quig Edmund Baxter, age 24. Mr. John James Borbank, age 42. Miss Mary Bork, age 40. Mr. Thomas William Solomon Brown, age 60. Miss Catherine Buckley, age 22. Miss Mary Delia Burns, age 17. Mr. Luca Kasich, age 38. Mrs. Lillian Carter, age 45. Mr. David Charters, age 20. Mr. Satio Kalef, age 24. Miss Kate Connolly, age 41. Mr. Daniel Coxon, age 59. So what have we learned today? Well, history isn't what it seems. Anytime anything horrible seems like an accident, you can be sure some woman in a silver carriage is behind it. That's just the way that this world works.
There's going to be plenty to keep you busy aboard this tub. So hurry up, you layabouts! Right, on your key!
Why do you put up with the cake?
Why do you, Dick?
Don't know.
We don't know.
Angelica, pick up that luggage and get a move on.
Jeffrey, what are you...
Right! Oh, Angelica, you really are hopeless.
Here you are. Let's hope it's a smooth crossing. So, what have you got in there?
Things that might be useful to us all.
What's with the costumes, guys?
We've been on
We've been on tour, senor.
And cannot wait to get home, muchachos?
To a decent ball of Chile.
Mind if I join you? I play wicked bongos, you know.
Hold it, please. Port screw ahead slow.
All gangplanks away.
We're off, lads!
I carried all the toys without dropping one. Papa! 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 Mama. If it hadn't been for you, I would be now in someone else's digestion.
Well, from now on, try not to strike out on your own without checking with me first. Because, you see, I'm responsible for how the animals behave on this...
Tell me, do you know? Do you really know? Do you know it, yes or no? Is it yes or is it no? Do you know who I really am? I'm the boss, and I command. I direct the band. Better stop it if you're breathing fishes here. It's time for pleasing, cause instead of being a hero, you know, you might become a zero. It's no confusion, no illusion. Out on the sea, so amusing. A special trip, so we best get started. Hardy, party, party, hardy. You, help me. You, me, you, me. Yes. All of you will bring the goodies, mini cakes and mini cookies, tasty steaks and hot salamis, juicy cheese with the capital C. You all. Who, us? You all. Us? You all. Yes. Go directly to first class. You find the best you can pour in a glass. Drinks are topped on the rocks, sparkling wine and sweet champagne. Let it blow just like the rain. It would be a welcome party, so come with me. Come on, everybody. You remember it forever. The one on board has had it better. Hurrah for Fritz. Hurrah for Fritz. Hurrah for Fritz. What a bar, super duper, what a party. Hurrah for Fritz! Hurrah for Fritz, hurrah for Fritz! What a bar, super duper, what a party. Hurrah for Fritz, he's the most loving party. Yeah.
No other man in my heart. No other man in my heart. No other man in my heart. And so only happy we'll be. And so only happy we'll be. And so only happy we'll be. Like the darkness right now.
Now I know who stole my locket. It was that girl.
No, I don't think it was her. Il est possible que...
Perhaps the locket is back with its rightful owner.
What does he mean by that?
Oh, nothing at all. Je suis sûr.
You know, I never really thought you'd come.
I've been waiting all my life for a moment as happy as this. Thought fate. But now... No, you know nothing about me.
Nothing you could tell me could prevent me from loving you.
Now we can go and celebrate too. Let's make a night of it.
Maxie, shake a leg already.
Angelica! Come here at once!
Bye.
Join the party.
We don't take food from strangers, especially peasants.
Stupid dog. What am I saying? You look more like a bat. Look at that.
What, you never seen mist before?
That's not just ice. Hello? Hello? There's an iceberg right in our path.
Thanks. Iceberg, dead ahead. Left rudder, right rudder. Hard left, full speed astern.
What did we hit?
Iceberg, sir. On the starboard side. We collided before I could do anything else, but I don't think it did much damage. Only.
Go. Go on. We'll be together again soon. I promise.
Hurry up! There's no time to lose. Get them in quickly.
Mrs. Vanderblanc, you forgot your jewel case.
Thank you. Oh.
Mommy, I forgot my jewels too. I'll go and get them.
Steersman! We need a steersman!
Hurry, get in the boat.
I volunteer.
Are you a sailor?
I am a yachtsman.
Then get down to that boat as quick as you can.
Go on, steersman, get in. Women and children, come on, come on!
Out of the way!
Last call! Women and children!
I'll get in the next one.
Don't sacrifice yourself for me. Winnie, I'm a failure, Winnie. I have no future to offer you, if there's going to be a future. I was going over to find someone to bail me out of bankruptcy.
I'm no better off than you are, darling. Truth is, I trapped you. And now that I've even lost Flopsy, you're it.
Come on, miss, you're the last one in this boat.
We're on a ship in the middle of the ocean.
Let the sun ride about you all across the universe.
I wonder what happened to my poor tiger.
You had a tiger on board?
No, my chihuahua. He was so sweet and helpless. Looked like a little bat. Where can he be?
Those horrible creatures are making faces at me!
Well, maybe you're bothering them. Come, sit over here.
Should we fly to the galaxy, sailing over the sea? Just take my hand and guide me, and I will follow you. Feel the river, touch the ocean, see it as it's gently flowing, kissing in a warm embrace. Let the sun ride about you.
Hey, chin up. We've made it. Answer me. Help! There's a child here. Somebody save him.
Hang on, we can save him too. We must get away from the ship or we'll be sucked down when she goes under. Fritz, we have company.
Victoria, where's William? Do you think he's safe?
I'm sure he is. Don't worry. Everything will turn out fine. You'll see.
sit so far apart, you oarsmen? You're unbalancing the boat. Will you ladies please sit down? Stop moving around or you'll tip us all into the ocean.
Is that locket yours?
Yes, it's always been mine.
Do you still have a picture in the locket?
Yes. Ever since my mother put it around my neck as a baby. And then left me.
And then left you because she was forced to. Gertrude seemed so nice. Told us we could get you whenever we wanted, but she vanished. Left no address. All your father had was an account number to pay your support money into.
Mother? Mummy! Oh, Mummy!
Baby.
Oh.
My baby. I mean, I hope you understand that neither I nor your father wanted to give you up, but we had to. And Gertrude seemed so nice. She told us we could come and get you whenever we wanted to.
I never thought you'd abandoned me. And the hope that one day I'd find you kept me going like a burning light. You and my father were always there, always in my heart. Fate is strange, though. I finally found my mother, only to lose William.
William?
You know him?
You mean that tall, handsome young man traveling on the Titanic? Yes. I brought him up and gave him all the love I wanted to give you. I was his nanny.
Oh, Mummy, don't let me stop hoping.
What are you doing there? Keep rowing!
Look, over there. It looks like someone in the water.
There's a body out there. Please try to get nearer.
We can't take on anyone else. We're too full as it is.
What sort of a sailor are you that you're afraid of falling in the water?
More weight could make us capsize.
And you were second in command of the Titanic.
It's not him.
I told you, it's useless. Let him go. Leave him.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Special Detective Bradbury, New York Police Department. Sam to my friends. Just call me Sam. And don't worry, from now on, you got me to protect you.
Where's William?
I knew you existed. I was too busy looking for someone. Someone with unforgettable eyes. And now that I've found her, I'm not going to let her get away from me again. Nothing you could tell me could prevent me from loving you. We'll be together again soon. I promise. I promise. I promise.
Oh, darn it. Who did that? Keep still, all of you. Everyone just keep still.
Everybody calm down. Let me handle this. Wow. No, not the hair. Not the hair. Please.
Get that hound off the boat! We're turning over! Throw him back in the water! Let him go, I said! Let him go!
Ah, shut up. Try to keep the boat on course for a change.
Mummy, it's William! Darling, it's me, Angelica.
Speak to me! Please! Open your eyes! Please!
Hello. I told you we'd be together again soon. Sorry I took so long.
Wait a minute, where are you going? The movie isn't over yet. Don't you want to know what happened to everybody? Well, Detective Bradbury finally got Corinthia in the act and had her locked up. Thanks also to Fritz and Flopsy, now detectives junior grade. Sam is super proud of the medal on his chest, but less of the lollipop. However, he swore he'd give up smoking if he ever made the arrest. Poor Gaston, drooling with great expectations, got himself hired by Rhoda Vanderplank, and the heiress put his Gallic charms to the best use possible, as chauffeur, babysitter, cook, butler, gardener, etc., etc. On the other hand, we're sitting really pretty. To thank us for saving him, our friend the ship's cook put us up at his new place of work, the kitchen of one of New York's fanciest restaurants. Here we have everything we need. Even Hector settled in, though he sometimes flies off on what he calls business trips. Dressed in mourning, Gertrude Pickering is all broken up, though her tears are not tears of joy, as her ugly nieces Hortense and Bernice marry Kirk and Dirk, who are gloatingly thinking they got it made. At least until Aunt Corinthia gets out of jail and makes them go back to stealing for a living. And here we have the ecstatic newlyweds Angelica and William, together with Mother Nanny Jenny, Victoria and the grandchildren, and the Dalmatians and their children, who were taken in by William and Angelica after having lost their beloved mistress Molly. Well, here's hoping they'll all live happily ever after. Bye for now, and see you soon!